Hi. So this is week 2 of volume. This week we are doing the volume of cones, pyramids. We'll do the volume of cones, pyramids, and hopefully spheres. But we're going to start out with a lesson in cones and pyramids today. Hopefully you read through the lesson. We're going to be looking at how much popcorn can go into a container, and we're going to make some containers basically. So if you can print these up, and you will need a couple of extra pieces of paper to go along with this, and I will show you how that works. And you could do all 4 shapes if you want, or you could just do like a couple of them. It's up to you. Really, if you follow along, the ones go together, 2s go together, etc. 3s go together, and some of them will need I think all of them you need an extra piece of just plain paper to go along with it. If you don't have cardstock, not a big deal. You could reinforce paper with some tape if you have it. If not, if you don't have any of the above, or you don't have a printer, then it's fine. You can just follow along with us. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause now, and I'm going to go ahead and start. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to read the instructions, and then I am going to make sure I have all of my materials, and then I'm going to start cutting these out. Okay, I will be back. All right, we're back, and so you're going to need 4 sheets. If you're going to do all the shapes, you really only need to do 2 shapes. So you'll need 4 extra sheets and some scissors and some tape. And basically what you should start doing is cutting out these shapes. Keep all the 1s together, all the 2s together, all the 3s if you're making all the shapes. If you're just going to make 1s, then just keep all the 1s together. Okay, I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to start putting them together. I'll show you how that works. All right, so I've cut out all of this stuff, and I have, just so you can kind of have a idea of what you should have here. You should have your awesome directions, and you should have a pile of cutouts for 4. So for A, B, C, and D, and then you should have a blank piece of cardstock with that. So then you should have all the cutouts for 3, blank piece of cardstock or paper, 2, all the cutouts for 2, and a blank piece of cardstock, and 1. So I'm going to just start with number 1 so you can kind of see how this works. You really do need to follow the instructions on this. So we cut it out. Tape pieces 1A to 1B together. So I'm going to tape these 2, and luckily I found this industrial type tape. It's like awesome. It's sticking things together. So you kind of need these to be a little sturdy. That's why they say to use cardstock, but if you just reinforce it with tape with tape, then you should be fine. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make this into a cone. So you're going to try and make like an ice cream cone with it. I'm trying to remember if the problem says popcorn or ice cream. So it's going to look like an ice cream cone when you're done. See that? Okay, so you're going to do that with that shape. I'm going to tape that in just a minute. And then for these pieces, we're going to form a lateral surface area of an 11-inch high cylinder. So the 11 inches is the longer side, so it's going to be that tall. So we're going to make this a cylinder. And we're going to tape these 2 sides together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the base to I'm going to add that Can you see that? I'm going to tape that base to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to make a cylinder. And I'm going to want to make sure that it fits that circle. I don't want it to be bigger than that circle because the bases should be the same size. Okay, so you kind of see how that's going to work. Okay, I'm going to get taping this, and then I'll be back. All right, so I've got my shapes here. I have a cylinder with a bottom on it. Really awesome taping job there. So it should be pretty tall. You can kind of see that. And then I should have like an ice cream cone type thing. Now, all the shapes are pretty much the same. There's two different sizes of cone and cylinders. And then the other is the like square based one, like a pyramid. So we'll get to that one next. So so you need these two. Now there's a small issue here because what I really want is these two, the bases should be the same amount, and I've made it a little smaller, so I might have to redo that. But and it should be the same height. So, and I'm seeing that it's not the same. You see that it's not the same height either. So that's going to be a small issue too. So I'm going to need to do some adjustments. It needs to be the same circumference. So it needs to be the same all the way around these two. You need to have the exact same base, and they need to have the same height. So I'm going to do a little cutting and messing around with these and get them to be the right size. You will also need some like rice or beans or something that you can fill these up with. Okay, something that you can, that your parents won't mind if you fill it up in here and then put it, back, and you don't get too dirty. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit more and see what I can come up with, and I'll get back to you.